like a lot of study on Tiffany Montgomery, but I've from the clips and the videos that I've watched of her, from the things that I have seen of her, a lot of what she's saying, especially a lot of what she's calling out, is so right. Mm-hmm. I think it may be the heart behind how she's doing it. Mm-hmm. I think that's the issue. You know what I mean?
I second that. That was always my problem with Tiffany. Not necessarily what she's saying, but like the motive behind it.
You see what I'm saying?
Or how? Is it like the how?
Well, I mean, you get past the how when you
because even Jackie Perry,
what she's saying.
Jackie Perry is a straight shooter. Jackie Hill Perry is a straight shooter.
I've never watched a bad cover by God, you know, but it's just like other things that come behind it, and then you see like how there's certain aspects how she'll operate outside of.
I don't know. See,
I'm gonna leave it where it's at.
So my bad. Yeah, no, I mean, I think here's where I'm at, because I understand. I've heard so many perspectives on Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, and so I'm not here to give anything.
Ain't nobody getting a check.
Yeah, nobody's right. No, and I'm not here to speak on anybody because your relationship with the Lord, you are accountable to God. You are accountable for what you say, and we trust God. We trust God, and we trust what He's doing in and all through His prophets and His teachers and His preachers. Amen. So God bless them, all of them, everybody we mentioned. But I just think, I just think it's really about understanding. I personally have followed her journey for a while, and just like a controversy around like Pastor Michael Todd, right? There's so much controversy around certain pastors and preachers and things of that nature. But I think as believers, it's not our job. We are human, number one. This is just what I'm going to say at a high level. I'm going to say at a high level. To be called to be a prophet and to have a mantle to speak to nations, and to be told specifically, which is I do know this fact about Tiffany's story, is that she was told not to change the way she talks. She is unapologetic about the fact that she came from the hood. Mm-hmm. She came from a gang family that and was intently told by the Lord to not change the way that she delivers things. And so she also jokes about how she's like, and I'm ADHD, you know, and like, and I don't have this or I don't have that, right? And so I think that there's ways that people who have been groomed in a faith or groomed in leadership communicate that it could be a mechanical, there's just a mechanical difference. And but the heart behind it, when you are in your own word, you can say, I know how she meant that. But it's not our responsibility to critique that. And that's the position that I've taken. Yeah. And I think also same with Pastor Michael Todd, where it's like the spit gate, when dudes spit in his brother's face, right? Everybody said, I'm done with this, bro. I'm done with this guy. But I just think that your issues as a person are just amplified on a platform. And it is such a hard responsibility to stand up there on a platform and do what you do. You may be super creative. I'm a creative. So sometimes you think a creative idea is great until it's just not. Until somebody hasn't walked alongside you said like, hey, that's not a good idea. Right? So I think that there's so many nuances. Also, the way that he handled that was really, really good.
I was asking if I could.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know if he was trying to segue.
I'm sorry. That was supposed to be so incognito.
It was.
He was like,
I am terrible at doing anything silently.
Because I know you tried to do the same thing.
But I'll just say, like, I think I appreciated, just to wrap this up, like, I appreciated the way that he handled that afterwards, like a public apology, hey, and continued to talk about like how that just wasn't a good move. So that's all I got to say.
I mean, so, and because I don't want to get caught up in the weeds. You know what I mean? I think to keep it very like general. Yes, we all are human, but the word, especially in Timothy, speaks very. Mind you, Lord speaking, to Timothy as a young teacher. But the Lord is fairly explicit in the importance of order, and the Lord is very explicit. I'm going to find a scripture for this because I can't type and talk at the same time. But the Lord is very intentional about the order and how things are done, especially when you are a teacher, right? So when you're platformed, it's like, yeah, I'm imperfect. I know my pastor, she got hurt. I mean, everybody in that ministry has stuff.
Even the fact that it's a she.
You feel
some people may.
And like, mind you, we could get all into the weeds about that. Yeah, but I think the thing is, I understand it when it's like you like. I understand it when it's like, okay, y'all, this wasn't the right thing to do. I get it. That didn't happen about 8 more times. So
and to not get in the weeds, but that's the part that I'm saying too. Like
we in the weeds.
We gonna get out the weeds. But all I have to say is like everybody has a different gifting, right?
Sure.
So if we're using Michael Todd, okay, he is a creative.
I kind of want to get back to Tiffany, but go ahead.
He is a creative, right? And so, and just, I don't know, like if it's happened, I think that was though that sermon was preached several times, but I think it was in a smaller venue. It was when he was building the church, right? And if no one corrected him on that, there would be no reason for him to think that it was out of order, right? Until it was.
Well, I'm not going to say sure.
Because I don't know, and again, I don't know people's backstories, but and I had this conversation with a good friend because she was like, well, even in the scripture with that in illustration, he mixed the saliva with dirt and made mud and then put it on his eyes. So, and I was just like, so anywho, let's not get into the weeds.
No,
we all know it was weird.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the thing is because you take, for instance, the recent thing with Mike Todd pulling I mean, he got the rapper, doing the album release party at his church.
Oh, I don't know anything.
It was like the
I
Grammys.
don't follow him.
Yeah, like
I didn't know.
It was so, bro. This is all on my YouTube feed.
Was he the one people talking about turned the church into a nightclub?
Literally, it was drove a Tesla on the stage.
Oh, was that? Are you talking about when he did at Sunday service? He did album release.
It was an album release party.
Oh,
he drove a Tesla on the stage, like all this stuff, whatever, right? And it's like, on one hand, mind you, they started off the night playing what's that one song? No, bro, they play Lean With It, Rock With It. They play Swag Surf.
That was
Nope.
I just feel like
this was 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Oh, I don't know.
I watched that service. Are you talking about during church service, like Sunday?
I don't know. I don't know if it was during the service or not. I'm not sure. But even stuff like that, right? You take, for instance, and he's not the only pastor to do this. You have these different pastors, Bishop Murphy,
that's what I thought you was talking about.
Whoever. The question becomes, what are you doing? Are you following the Spirit of God? Because there's a simplicity to the word. I get it being creative. I mean, I think we all here are creatives because it takes creativity even just to like craft a dialogue. You see what I'm saying? Like, it takes creativity to craft a business concept, to, even craft a meal. I mean, I think we all are creatives, but creativity does not trump the plain word. And that's not saying that you just got to put the that's not saying you just got to put the Bible on a table, you know what I mean, and just like say, all right, here, read the word. No, I think it's important. It's dangerous when you begin, and this goes back to the prophetic conversation. It's dangerous when you begin to put your characterization and spin on things, trying to emphasize what the word says. You know what I mean? Because it's like I get it. You bring a boat on stage. Are you talking about how the disciples in the boat and the waves are raging and Jesus come? Bro, it was a boat with rain and water. He did the whole thing. It was insane.
It was amazing.
Now, mind you, as I watched it, I'm like, man, that's good. But as I'm watching it, the Lord is like, but where is it so they can understand my heart? Mm-hmm. Where is it so they can understand, like, it's not about this.
I have a question.
Yeah,
no, and because I see both sides. I have friends, and I just think I might have a grace for certain things, but where is it undoctrinally sound to do that.
No, it's not. So, and I think that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not that it's Paul says all things permitted, but not all things helpful, right? So it's not that it's not doctrinal, but it's about where is this helpful to introducing the truth of Jesus?
How is it hurtful? That's the only thing. Those are the two questions that I would want to unpack.
I want to come right back to this because this is good and it's necessary, because I want to come back to Tiffany. So